So let's first learn a Gemara together. That'll kind of set the stage for the tension between Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha and try to understand what that means, and Chayecha Kodmin. You come first, or does the other person come first, or you're really equal? So this is a famous Gemara, and let's read it together. Shnaim shayu mehalchen baderech. Two people were traveling along the way. Uviyad echad mehem kiton shel mayim. And one of them had in his possession a flask of water. Im shosim, so it sets up the situation for you. Im shosim shneim mesim. If they both drink from it, they will both die, because there's not enough water to sustain both of them until they can reach more water. Im shosa echad mehen magia leishu. However, if only one of them drinks, he will be able to reach a settlement where more water is available. Right? So that's the case. One guy, A, owns a bottle of water. B doesn't have any water. Right? Let's suppose they're 10 miles away from some settlement where they'll be able to get more water. That bottle of water can sustain one person for the 10 miles till they reach the settlement. If one of them drinks that bottle of water, he'll make it. If they share, they'll both die. Right? So Darash ben Petura, when Petura preached concerning the above cases, Mutav sheyishtu shneihem v'yamusu. Let them share the water, and they should both die. Not they should both die. No, they will both die. It is better that both should drink and die. V'al yireh echad mehem b'misaso shel chavero. Right? That's preferable to that one. Then one should witness the death of his fellow. I mean, what Betur is saying is they're thirsty right now. So let A drink some water, quench his thirst. Give some to B to quench his thirst. But so right now they're okay. They're not going to make it for 10 miles. At some point, they will sharing the bottle. They will die, because a half a bottle of water will not sustain either one of them. But the Torah says, the Torah cannot live with the issue that one guy will hold on to the water and drink and make it, and therefore the other one will die. Ad Shabar Rav Akiva v'limed, then Petura's teaching was accepted until Rav Akiva came and taught. There's a pasuk in Parshas Bahar, and that's a topic there we're dealing with, that if you have a poor fellow Jew, you have to help him. And if you lend him money, don't charge him interest. V'chei achicha imach, that your brother may live with you. So the Rav Akiva darshan that pasuk to mean v'chei achicha, make sure he lives imach, with you, meaning your life comes first. Chayecha kodmin l'chayech havercha. This implies that your life takes precedence over your fellow's life. We pass like Rav Akiva. We pass like Rav Akiva, and in this situation, the guy who owns, the one who has the bottle of water, should drink and live. If B dies, what are you going to do? But they should not both die. Now, obviously, and I'm not going into this because there's machlokas. We've shown him on this machlokas. There's a lot of Torah on this, as you can imagine, because does it mean that I'm not obligated to share? I'm not allowed to share? Is that what Rav Akiva is saying? So there's a lot of nuances here. Also, just imagine, let's suppose it's a parent and a child. So which parent is going to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to drink the whole water, and I'm sorry, you're going to, so, right, you understand? It's just like, whenever you get on a plane and the announcement tells you that if, we have trouble and the oxygen, the mask comes in, the parent, the adult, should put on his mask first and give it to the child. That ain't happening, right? If there's trouble and they come in, you're going to put your mask on the kid first, right? You're not listening. Whatever logic flies out the air, right? Whatever, right, is more reasonable. Well, you're going to say, I'm sorry, wait a second. My 5-year-old kid, I have to put on my oxygen first. So there's a lot of it. The reason I bring this up, the reason I want to read this Gemara is, notice who said Chayecha Kodmin. Your life comes first in this situation. Chayecha Kodmin is Rav Akiva. Rav Akiva is the one who said that the pasuk in Kedoshim, which says V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, zeh klal gadol b'Torah. You stay afterward, Linda can knows the song. She'll sing it for you. But Rav Akiva, who said that that is a klal gadol b'Torah, so he really gives it a lot of importance, and yet he says chayecha kodmin and wins out. So there's a tension with chayecha kodmin, because if ahavta kamocha means you should love your fellow Jew as you love yourself, that doesn't sound like chayecha kodmin. That sounds like chayechem shavim. So now, with that, go to the flip side, the other page. Is it logical? Is it reasonable? Is it possible for A to love B as much as A loves himself? I would think the answer is no, right? And that's why both Ramban and Tosfos and most say V'ahavta kamocha is not meant literally, but it's to teach us an attitude. When a non-Jew came to Hillel, wanted to convert, and he said, Hillel, teach me the Torah. So Hillel said to him, whatever is hateful to you, whatever you don't want done to you, don't do to others. Hillel gave it to him in the negative, right? Because that's the more practical. That's the sensible, and that's the doable. That's the realistic, right? If whatever I don't want done to me, I shouldn't do to you. Now you can flip that to say more in the positive, right? Whatever I would like you to do for me, I should do for you. But that's an approach. That's an attitude. It doesn't mean that I have to, that I'm going to love you as much as I love myself, when I'm going to put your needs ahead of mine. It just means that I shouldn't do to you things that I think are bad, or I should, meaning, or that you should be on my radar. I should take care of myself. But if ani la'atzmi ma'ani, right? You can't live, right, in the iPhone, iPod, iPad, I generation, right? So that's against Yiddishkeit. What were you going to say?
When a soldier jumps on a hand grenade,
right,
and saves his friends,
right,
he's loving them more than he's loving himself.
Right. Yeah. I don't have a comeback for that. That's true, right? Is he obligated to do that? No, but that's Mikam Yisrael, right?
The soldier doesn't even think for a second.
Right. It's an instinctive thing, right? It's an instinctive thing. Yeah, this doesn't mean that you don't save somebody else's life, right? But so what I mean by an attitude is also whatever you want for yourself, you should want for somebody else. If you want a nice house, you want a nice car, whatever it is that you want, so you should also want that you have it too, right? That's what I mean by an attitude. You pray for yourself, you should pray for others. You would do anything to prevent harm to yourself, so you should try to prevent harm to others. So if you have two guys on the desert, and one of them has a pair of shoes, and it's tough to walk barefoot, he doesn't have to give up his shoes. That's what this saying, this Rav Zev Smith, who's a major posek in Brooklyn. So he phrased it is, from halacha, because of chayecha kodmin, just like you don't have to give up the bottle of water, you don't have to give up your shoes. But you should put yourself in his shoes, right? Which is, there's a lot of wisdom to that statement. But now let's go a little bit more into chayecha kodmin. If that's the halacha, we pass on Rav Akiva, chayecha kodmin, and therefore you hang on to your water and you'll live, even though the other guy will die. Are the limits to chayecha kodmin? Is it always, that sounds like very much like the I generation. My life comes first. So let's see some really interesting things in chayecha kodmin. First of all, let's suppose number one, A owns a set of arba minim and B doesn't. May B grab the arba minim, invoking chayecha kodmin. Right? So no, right? Chayecha kodmin doesn't allow you to do something wrong. Chayecha kodmin means that if I'm going to act fairly, honestly, halachically, then I can hang on to the bottle of water. It's my bottle of water. But it doesn't allow me to steal. Chayecha kodmin doesn't mean that the heck with him, I'm going to do whatever I want. No, it doesn't. It's not that there's chaos, that you can just do anything that's illegal. Another interesting where chayecha kodmin has a limit is the famous halacha where if A tells B, I'm going to kill you unless you kill C. So now either B or C will die. So am I allowed to go, is B allowed to go kill C to save his life? Chayecha kodmin. Why? No, because killing is wrong. Chayecha kodmin doesn't allow you to do anything wrong. B cannot kill C because killing is wrong. That's right. Chayecha kodmin with me that he should. Right? That's hashkein lahar. Somebody comes to kill you, so get up early and kill him. That's absolutely right. That's an excellent point. But there's also a qualitative statement to that. We in halacha cannot make a qualitative decision. B cannot say, let's suppose B is the gadol ador. Or let's suppose B is a cardiac surgeon and every day he does 3 heart operations and he saves the lives of 3 people. And A tells B is the surgeon, I'm going to kill you unless you kill C. And C happens to do is nothing. He's a homeless person. Nothing against homeless people. Please don't yell at me. But let's suppose you have B says, I'm a cardiac surgeon, or I'm the gadol ador. I write sparm and I paskin for everybody. I help thousands of people. And C is a homeless person who has gives no value to society. That's my example. So B's going to say, well, it's either I die or he dies. Of course he should die. I'm very valuable to society. C is not valuable at all. You can't make qualitative statement. You can't say chayecha kodmin because my life is valuable. No, because we don't have. We put a tremendous value on life, but we don't quantitate that value. Chayecha kodmin does not allow you to do anything wrong. But now let's see the 3 and 4. It's the first seder. A has 1 kazayis matzah. B doesn't have any matzah. So chayecha kodmin. I don't have to give up my matzah, right? Because if I can't share my matzah, if I share my matzah, I'll have a half a kazayis and I'll have a kazayis. Neither of us will have done the mitzvah. The mitzvah is you don't get credit for half a matzah. You get credit for kazayis. It's all or none. So it's my matzah, like the bottle of water. I should keep it. I'll do the mitzvah, and B won't. Okay, there's only 1 matzah. So that's chayecha kodmin. But now let's suppose the first night I have 2 matzahs. I have 2 kazayis of matzah, and B doesn't have any. So and this is a machlokas, right? Yeshom, there are those who say, okay, chayecha kodmin. Why do I have 2? I have 1 for tonight and 1 for tomorrow night. The 2 seders, right? So 1 tonight and 1 tomorrow. So I'll perform the mitzvah tonight. A will perform the mitzvah tonight and tomorrow, and B doesn't have any matzah. So he's out of luck. I don't have to give up my matzah. Right? Let's suppose now. So I'm sorry, that was the case 3. That was the first case. I only have 1 kazayis. Let's suppose I have 2 kazaysim. A has 2 kazaysim. Why? 1 for tonight, 1 for tomorrow. B doesn't have any. So those who say, okay, that's the way it is. Keep the 2 matzahs, you'll do it. But there's a yesh woman that says, no, you should give him 1 kazayis. Why? Because there's a difference in the first seder and the second seder. The first seder is a mitzvah d'oraisa. Second seder is a mitzvah d'orabanan. Yom Tov Sheni is a mitzvah d'orabanan. A should give up his tomorrow night's mitzvah d'orabanan, so A could do a mitzvah d'oraisa tonight. That's not so obvious. That's why there's a machlokas, but that's interesting, right? That's chayecha kodmin. There's a limit to chayecha kodmin. We're going to see chayecha kodmin contends with kol Yisrael araven zelazeh, or v'ahavta l'orecha kamocha. So the other side says, you give up, so you keep 1 matzah for tonight, and give B 1 matzah so he can do the mitzvah d'oraisa the first night, which is mitzvah d'oraisa. and then neither of you will do the mitzvah d'Rabbanan tomorrow night. And you'll say, yeah, but it's my matzah. Why should I give up my mitzvah d'Rabbanan? Should I give up my mitzvah d'Rabbanan for you to do a mitzvah d'Oraisa? Well, that's the machlokas. The first side says, no, it's your matzah. Chayecha kodmin, it's your matzah. Right? Mitzvah d'Rabbanan is also important. Right? Well, Ner Shab is not important. Ner Chanukah is not important. Right? It's also important. But it's not as important as mitzvah d'Oraisa. That's what the second side says.
So saying, with Nero's Hanukkah, with the same situation where yes.
So let's look at this. That's good. Number 5. Mindy and I worked on this together.
Yeah.
Look at 5 now. That's also an interesting conundrum. Second night of Hanukkah, A has 2 candles, B doesn't have any. Okay, so A will do the mitzvah with 2 candles. B doesn't have any candles, so he will not do the mitzvah tonight. Magen Avraham says no. No. A should give B 1 candle. How does that work? So they'll both be able to light 1 candle. Because the basic mitzvah is Ner Rishon Beso, is 1 candle. That's the basic mitzvah. Then you have Mahadran that everybody lights, and then you have Mahadran Minahadran that everybody lights an additional candle every night, so you match the number of nights, right? Says the Magen Avraham, Chayecha Kodmin is now really in contention with Kol Yisrael Reiv Zelazeh. If you did Chayecha Kodmin, I should do the Mahadran Minahadran. I should do the super Hiro mitzvah. And B will do nothing. Magen Avraham says that's wrong. Give him a candle, and then both of you will do the basic mitzvah. Meaning, you gave up your Hidor mitzvah so he can do his basic mitzvah. That sounds right? Meaning, Kol Yisrael, I want you at least to do the basic mitzvah, but I'm giving up the Chayecha Kodmin because I gave up Hidor.
Yeah, you could say, what kind of Hidor mitzvah is it if your Hidor comes at the expense of his basic not having a mitzvah?
Very well said. Yeah, we'll see that comes up a little bit later, but that's the best way of putting it. Number 6 surprised me. I didn't know about this concept, but I heard this from Reb Seth Smith. A and B are roommates, and the minyan is at 7. So they usually get up at 6:30 to make 7 o'clock minyan. They're roommates right in the yeshiva. A wants to get up at 5 a.m. He wants to be a super tzaddik. He's going to get up at 5 a.m. to learn Torah for 2 hours. So he sets the alarm for 5 a.m. Is he allowed to do that?
No.
Because when he sets the alarm for 5 a.m., it'll wake up B. They're in the same room, right in a dorm, a small room, right? So it'll wake up B. Rav Zeh Smith, he's not allowed to do that because it's called Gezel Shena. You're not allowed to steal somebody's sleep. Meaning, it goes back to the Chayecha Kodmin, even for the purpose of a mitzvah, does not allow you to do anything wrong. And Gezel Shena is wrong. I got to believe if B spoke to A and said, listen, do you mind if he has A's permission? Okay. Or maybe A will say, listen, I'll listen to the alarm and I'll just, it's not for me. I'll just turn over, not a problem. But otherwise, you cannot allow to do it. So there, the attitude that I don't want anybody to do something to me that I wouldn't want. I don't want anybody to wake me up when I don't have to wake up, and I shouldn't do it to him, even if that means I give up 2 hours of learning. 7. Now we get into a little grayer issues where you do something that's okay. What you're doing is right, but it'll indirectly cause somebody sorrow or sadness. So are you allowed to do that? Do you have to factor that in? That's the case. They talk about, may a younger sibling get married before the older sibling, knowing it will cause the older sibling sorrow. So the answer is, yeah, you're allowed to get married. I mean, probably a discussion should go on, whatever it is, but you're allowed to be matzliach in your life, even though it'll indirectly, and that leads into 8. That's supposed to A and B are competing for a job. So you're not going to say, well, A shouldn't try very hard because if he gets the job, B will feel bad, right? That's ridiculous. A has to do. Now, A can't cheat. A can't do anything wrong. That's the thing. But to try to be matzliach, to get a position And even though that's the nature of competition, and there's competition, you're allowed to do that.
In number 7 with the younger sibling, can the younger sibling get married before the older? And the thought is here because it's gonna cause the older sibling sorrow. But then the younger sibling who wants to get married, if he or she needs to delay a wedding, that's gonna create
Also cause sorrow.
animosity too,
Right.
because it's like, I want to get married. It's not my fault that you haven't found your bashert or whatever.
Right.
So you're causing sorrow to yourself by holding off.
So chayecha kodmin.
What about hana
So-
for the parents? Hana for the parents, take hana away from the parents if you don't allow the other daughter to get married.
Right.
Possibly.
So what Rachel did, she didn't really have to do. With Leah.
No, she was not obligated to do that. That's what makes it so great.
What Lavan did by saying to Yaakov, I can't give
Right.
I can't give the younger one before the older one. That was just his excuse.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Well,
right.
That wasn't Nahut back then?
No, by giving, by saying I couldn't marry off the younger one.
But it
first.
wasn't the custom back then?
No, he said it's not the custom.
Right, he said in our community, it's not the custom, yeah. Something that comes up a lot, the 2 yard sites, they're both Israelim. It's Monday morning, there's only one shlishi, usually a yard site gets an aliyah. So, there's only one shlishi aliyah.
Cohen could walk out.
So, yeah, that's true too, right? So, the Magen Avraham says, never fight, right? Because fighting, even over, quote, a mitzvah, doesn't cause any nachas ruach to Hashem. So you should never fight.
Sonny Gershon's motto also all the time.
Yeah,
Sonny always, because I was a guy for 10 or 11 years, he always told me, remember one thing, never have any arguments.
no machlokas. Right.
That's what he always told me, was Sonny.
Now, the question is asked, so first, so you should work it out. Between the two of you, the 2 Israelim who have yard sites, work it out. You do a lottery, right? I don't know, arm wrestle, do something to decide what to do. One of you will get shlishi. But the best is, that's right, split it that way, right? But the best is to be mevater, to give in. You take shlishi. No, I'll get glila, no, whatever. Or I'll down for the right, like that, right? So the question is asked, but when you do this, you're doing this, it should be an aliyah for the neshama. You're doing this for the schus, the merit of your father, right? So do you have a right to give that up? Meaning, if getting the shlishi, the aliyah, was for your own honor, so okay, so give up your honor. Be a mevatel, give up your honor. But here, you're not getting shlishi for yourself. You're getting a shlishi for your parent.
Of course, yeah.
So maybe you shouldn't have a right to give that up.
The other side of the coin is that you're doing something really good for your father by showing that you're.
Right, that's it. That's what you're going to say. That's right. It's a much greater aliyah and schus for your father, right? For you to give up the shlishi and let have somebody else and avoid machlokas.
Still, if you go to one of these, really religious places, shuls, you see guys fighting to the death to daven to the Yomid.
It happens all the time with the yard sites. It's there is no greater machlokas than machlokas l'shem shamayim, because then both sides feel that I'm right. I'm doing this for a good cause. Right?
People always assume that they're saying Kaddish, and that's they're saying Kaddish is what they must do. No, for yard sites, for Avelis, it's not saying Kaddish, it's doing a nachas ruach for the neshama, whichever way it comes out. It doesn't have to be saying Kaddish.
Right.
People don't understand that.
Number 10, the Chassam Sofer says that this concept of chayecha kodmin applies only by gashmius, only by the physical, meaning that allows you to hang on to the water. That allows me to hang on to the shoes. But by Torah, the Torah is not yours. So the Chassam Sofer was making the point is that a Talmid Chacham should make sure to teach Torah, to share the Torah. Because you'll ask yourself, well, I could spend an hour learning by myself. I'll grow in my own Torah. as opposed to teaching Torah. So that doesn't really do me much. So, but I'll help him. Yeah, but chayecha kodmin. So some Sophists says no, chayecha kodmin doesn't apply to spiritual matters, to ruchnius, right? And others, others say that's exactly what Rav Akiva was saying. He says zek klal gadol, but Torah, right? That v'ahavta l'recha kamocha overrides chayecha kodmin by Torah. Don't look at what's best for me. Teach. Now, Moshe gives an example where chayecha kodmin does apply to Torah. Also applies to ruchnius, meaning, let's suppose there's a Rav in the town. He's been here for a while, so you go every Wednesday night to his Gemara Shiur. And then that's been going on for 5 years. And then a new Rav comes to town. A younger guy comes into town. And he opens up his own shul or whatever it is, and he also starts a Gemara Shiur on Wednesday night, right? Or another night. But you can only go one night a week. Your wife will only allow you to go to a shiur one night a week. And you hear him speak, the new Rav, and you say, I like his style. I think I'll get more from him. So can you switch shiurim? Because the older Rav will feel hurt, feel bad. You've been in shiur 5 years, and then suddenly you're not showing up, and he'll find out that you go to the younger Rav shiur, the new guy's shiur. He'll feel hurt. Says Moshe chayecha kodmin. It applies. If you think you can get more of the other shiur, I mean, it's probably best to go to the older Rav and say, I'm sorry, whatever, however you're going to phrase it. It's not going to come out good, but whatever you're going to phrase it. But chayecha kodmin means it applies to ruchnius too. Now, Rav Moshe agrees. Rav Moshe says that a Talmid Chacham is bound to give 10% of his time to teaching. It's like same thing like Meiser, by tzedakah. You have to give 10% of your income to tzedakah. Rav Moshe says you should give 10% of your time to teaching Torah if you're able to teach Torah. And I'll just finish off with, so up to now we've said, the theme of this year is about v'ahavta l'recha kamocha is not literal, right? By the way, some have said that it doesn't say v'ahavta es reacha. Es is more of that, the reacha is more of like a direct object of the ahava. So v'ahavta le'reacha too, meaning it's an attitude to whatever you want done to yourself, do for him. Whatever you don't want done to yourself, don't do to him. But there is a situation where after l'reacha kamocha is literal, that you should love A should love B as much as they love themselves, and that's by a spouse. The rabbi said by a spouse, v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha is very literally, and some say that's the mitzvah of in Kedoshim of v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. He talks about a spouse. The Chazal said that a husband is supposed to honor his wife more than he honors himself. I think you should think of it as like two hands. And that's perhaps why in the Sheva Brachos, I think it's the 5th one, where it says, Sameach to Samach, Re'im Ha'uvim. That you call the Chassan and the Kala Re'im, friends. It's kind of an unusual term, right? Re'im, Chassan and Kala, husband and wife, are Re'im. Meaning they have to fulfill, they have to L'reach HaKamocha, very literally. Thank you.
I have a question. There are a lot of people, unfortunately, in this world who don't think much of themselves and they don't love themselves. They have a bad attitude about, I'm not successful, I'm not nice enough, I'm a jerk, I didn't treat my parents, whatever. So the whole concept of ahavta l'reacha kamocha, I guess if they feel that way about themselves, they're not really going to get into this phrase at all.
Right. I wonder. So, I mean, if a person has very low self-esteem,
they might always put others before themselves if they have low self-esteem.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point.
How does this work also with keep it of the A? These two concepts to the A. Are there in line? We took this, you don't have to do everything for our parents all the time. They want certain things, right? But maybe you could say under this, maybe yes, under that,
right.
maybe no.
I mean, even with parents, even kibbut av v'em, chayecha kodmin would apply sometimes. There are situations chayecha kodmin. For instance, the famous question is, I want to marry a girl. My parents object. And they tell me, you marry her, it'll cause us so much heartache. You can't do that, kibbut av v'em. And the halacha is, you're allowed to marry her. They don't have any right to tell you who to marry. They can give you advice, right? I mean, I'm making it very black and white, it's not. But so chayecha kodmin there, but for the most part, kibbut av v'em would override chayecha kodmin. You're supposed to help them, right? If I'm thirsty and my father is thirsty, he asks me for a glass of water, I'm supposed to give him a glass of water first. Right? Now, as I said, the case in the desert with Ben Tutura and Rav Akiva, if it's family, I don't know if Rav Akiva would say that. That's like with a child. So turn it around with your father. You have an older father. I'm sorry, I can't share any water with you because I need the water to stay alive. And that what means he's going to die. So, right. So, right. And Yossi's case, the classic case of jumping on a grenade and saving 20 people, right? Chayecha kodmin would tell you, you're not allowed to jump on the grenade, but we don't say that. To save others, you can't invoke chayecha kodmin in those cases. You say, well, what's the difference between the jumping on the grenade and saving 20 people and giving him water and saving him? It's the same case, right? That was Yossi's point. By giving him the water, you save him and you die. By jumping on a grenade, you save them or him and you die. I don't know. I don't think, as Mendy said very well, I don't think, because we passed like Rav Akiva, the chayecha kodmin, I don't think you'd be obligated to jump on a grenade. Because chayecha kodmin, you see a grenade, by halacha, you have the right to run away and avoid death. Right? But that's the case with everybody. I mean, all 20 people around there, each one can invoke chayecha kodmin to run away. Right? But he's the only one who saw the grenade. Right? They didn't see the grenade. So, well, that's what makes him a hero. Right? That's why I have a feeling, and again, I don't know enough about this. I have a feeling that we pass on Rav Akiva that you're not obligated to, not that you're not allowed to give him the water. I mean, let's suppose you choose, I want him to live and not me, I'll give him the water. So I think you'd be allowed to do that. Right? And you'd be heroic. Now, it could also be, I don't know. I mean, you could, go crazy with this. But it's a very difficult issue. But, no. All right. Any Kohanim here? How many are we here? Do we have 10?
Wait.
Fred
You
just
don't
left.
have time.
Fred just left. Is he coming back?
You didn't need. No, don't have any.
No? You sure?
You don't
No, I
have-
think you have 10.
I think we have 10, no?
Exactly 10.
Exactly 10. Yeah. 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, but
10.
no, I didn't need
You
anything.
didn't need.
But you could still,
No,
No, he didn't eat anything.
Anything?
So. Okay.
Okay, do you want the women to step in?
Mindy, you wanna take a bite of something? Just kidding. Okay. Rabotai Nevarech. Yishem Nevarach Me'ata Ve'ad Olam. Birshut. Ra'anan V'Ramnan Rabotai Nevarech She'achalnu Mishalo. Lo Shechal Mishalo Tibor Chayinu Baruch Atah Adonai. Mein Ba'acholam Azan Et Ha'olam Kulo B'Tov V'Chen V'Chesed V'Rachamim. Hu Noten Lach Mecha B'Sar Kilam Chesdo. Uvtuvo Hagadol Tamil Lo Chatzarnu Ba'al Yitzhanu Mazon V'Oyelet Ba'avu Shmo Hagadol Ki Hu El Zon V'Nes V'Kol Miti V'Kol Mechim Zon V'Kol B'Yotav Shebarab Baruch Atah Adonai Hazan Et HaKol. Eretz Chedabah Shotzei Tanu Amem Babu Chachma Badal Tu Batu Bachutro. Mesa Kamil Kol Kol Shah Yal HaKol Lachon Bachim Egrati Kol Chai Kaptot Mechata B'Sabato V'Rachtem Molech Baruch Atah Adonai Al Haaretz Ve'al Hamazon Rachem Na'adam Hashem Necham Hashem Necham Ba'atzion V'Yom Nachud V'Rabel Osh Dikashim כי לידך הבליה הפתוחה. ראש מקום לא ועד. אלוהינו ואלוהינו יעלה ויבוא ויגיע ויראה וירצה ושמע פרקי וזכרי זיכרון הפני זיכרון משיח פני זיכרון ישלם קדשם זיכרון כל עמך וניסור פניך ולכן לחץ ורחמים לכם לשלום ביום ראש החודש הזה זכרינו אני בטוח חוס וחלל ואנחנו בשירים בירושלים עיר הקודש במהרה בימינו ברוך אתה אדוני בונה ברוך הבא בירושלים אמן ברוך אתה כל מסוים כמותם וגם כל שמם כמו שלי בחוק יום. כן יברך אותנו כל אנחנו משמרי במרום ילמדו עליהם וירצח ויסב רחם צחן וזכר אותו ברחמן. הוא יחדש את החודש הזה לטובה ולברכה. מגדול ישוע מקום ועושה חס משמון הפלוזה ועל העושה שלמה ועומד לבוא את הפתק. זה מה שיקח אדון נערתי גם זאת לא ראיתי זה אמר יש לכם אדוני עוז ומברך את עמו והשלום Would people be interested in davening mincha now? Right? With 10 men would be great.
Okay, I would like to show you.
We have all 10. Need all 10.
Yeah. If all 10 will stay, we can daven mincha right now.
Okay, but
Right next door. Yeah, sure. Michael.
I will bring that up in Israel. People die. See.
Oh, I can't call him because of his stupid phone. I could text him. Yeah.
Wendy, that was a very good choice for lunch. Thank you. Very nice.
Excuse me?
I mean, there's a main road that goes right into Jerusalem.
Take your water.
You know, you find your community, you find your shul, you make a couple of friends.
Right.
When is when is laying up some of the days?
This is Thursday. So we're sponsoring NATEP.
Wedding present.
That's it.
So,
Culture.
if he takes it over.
Very nice.
Why do you think?
She told me
Which wasn't true.
We're having friends visiting from Texas.
Oh, did you come
Oh.
tomorrow?
Yeah, she hasn't-
Did
she
regular,
takes
but I have a
psychiatrist.
little
Come
practice.
twice
She
a
is
year
more
already.
Wow. Inside.
So that was just.
Yeah,
How do you know?
Yeah.
She just wouldn't let me do something. I don't think so.
It was kind of a line of sight.
Well, I had a lovely day
Don't go
off.
away, I have
Enjoyed.
something upstairs to give you.
See the market to do some food shopping. Is that a great way to space?
Why
Go to the
not?
movies. We went to, we saw Song Sung Blue.
Oh,
I
how was it?
loved it. I loved it.
I've heard some people that I can't remember the last time I said a
And
movie.
I happened, we were in Florida, when we saw it, we were on the beach the next day, was it whatever, and Steve always has 16 and a half sparrow with him, I said, whatever. I see him with his headset on the beach. I said, you are not learning, dear. You are singing your time.
That's so cute.
Yeah, you know what, they don't make songs like that anymore. If you turn on like.
Did you know
they're
that
like-
she had, did you know that she has such a good voice?
No, I kept
Gorgeous
wondering
voice.
if they dubbed her, but they
I don't think
She's- I
so.
don't think so
And-
either.
I got it, and Hugh Jackman also.
Did they,
No.
lip sync and?
No,
I
no.
don't think so. No, it was excellent.
Yeah. Now I
Yeah.
want to go see that other one, that Marty Supreme.
Steve said to me, don't say it, it's not for
Why?
you. Because there is violence in it.
No, I don't do the
think
violence. No,
so.
I don't do
think
the
so. I
violence.
don't
No,
think
so
so.
I do
then-
not do any of the
so I
violence.
said there was some- Did you see it, honey?
No,
Oh, so then.
how
Ann
well do you
said,
know me?
Okay, but did you see The Godfather? I said, yeah, and I nightmared for a week after that. So why would I go?
When we watch
saw The
now like on
Godfather. I
TV,
didn't think it was that.
SVU and all these things, I don't come in till after the first 5 minutes. I don't want to
Really?
see what happened. I want to how they solve it. But I don't want to see anybody
I
get
wanna
killed
tell
and
you
beaten
something,
up. I'm
though.
not interested.
I guess I'm not a nice person. I
No.
like to watch
Yourself.
it.
You have to know yourself, what you tell me.
No.
I nightmare when I see
Yep.
any
No,
violence.
not
So
me.
what
You
is my
watch it like-
point?
You watch it like this when you think it's.
No, I watch it.
Oh, I just started reading this morning, Hamlet. I just got
Oh,
it from the
yeah?
library.
What did you think of it?
I'm on
I didn't
page
read
10.
it. I didn't read.
It sounds very interesting from the cover.
tomorrow's,
It's like
Zooming,
Victor
we're
with
zooming
Hamlet,
except
is that what
Thursday.
it is?
Thursday we're back.
No, it's the life Hamlet
Yeah, I
was Shakespeare's
RSVP'd
son.
for
Good.
And then
Have
the
a good
Black
day,
Plague
everybody.
happened, whatever.
Oh.
This is the opening line says, and the son died. So I'm not giving you,
Right.
you know,
Oh, the movie's very good.
like, what's it called?
You
The
saw the
spoiler.
movie?
I heard about it.
Oh.
But I hear it's very good.
But it's not like
Yeah.
a spoiler alert. That's like before, like in the
Before
preface.
anything happens,
But
right?
and then 3 years later, Shakespeare wrote Hamlet.
And interesting, okay.
So
I
don't
want to
know.
save some movies to go to in Florida, so.
Florida has everything,
Yeah,
if not
yeah,
even
yeah.
before, because Debbie, we were down there with Debbie.
Right.
And she had like, Fischer, she said, well, these are our choices. I think Hamnet was even down there.
Where did you go eat? That's more important. Where
What,
did you eat out in Florida?
me and Svi or with the gold?
Both.
We ate out once with them, Debbie, Svi and I went
Okay,
down to Miami. What's it called? It was one word, Nakash.
Milka Fleischer, Street Kitchen?
Maybe.
Okay, I never
Um,
went there.
Yeah, it was okay. You know, none of these things wow me.
Yeah,
I love hamburgers. Svi makes me a rare hamburger on the George Foreman, which is my favorite. all time.
okay.
So I'm saying that. Where else did we? So we arrived Wednesday evening, and on the way from the airport to Deerfield Beach, I think it's in Boca, Zebby's Pizza. I thought it was excellent. If you like pizza, that's my
I
favorite
love
food.
pizza, yeah.
Okay. We ate at 2 bagel places. Also, I don't like spending a lot of money on restaurants.
Yeah, me neither.
That's why, like, I'm coming back to Miami. for
Mhm.
another- There are supposed to be places in Hollywood that, I mean, I
Yeah.
would love you guys and Eve to come up.
Yeah,
maybe
well, of
one
course we'll
evening.
come up.
Okay.
Why not? When are you gonna be there? The 15th?
Is that Sunday?
I don't know.
It's President's Week.
Oh. Let's see. February, right? February.
Rivka, what are you gonna do about your walk, snow shovel wise? Do you have somebody who'll do it?
So
Yes, no.
last year I asked Honey, whoever she gets for her, to send to me. We have a neighbor across the street who always comes and shovels for us if it snows on Shabbos. I don't know if he knows
Take it
that
easy.
it's Shabbos.
Have a
or
good
he's
day.
guy. A very nice
We
guy.
have a few of those on our block.
So Yossi wants to like kind of ask him if he'll just do it, but I don't think that's right. I
What
don't
you-
want to
you
do
just say
that.
on, my family. Say to him, do me a favor, text me each time so I know, or else I'll text you. So I heard it though. I think she definitely do that.
Because we don't pay him.
I know somebody
Say
Somebody
to
put
him,
up, I know.
This is what is your comfort level. You want to know that you keep them, you don't need your driveway done unless.
I know, I
you
saw.
go to your house.
Right.
And you saw.
She-
Right.
she goes
Say,
on.
I wanna
She's
know,
on.
To be comfortable, let us give you 40, let's say, or 30, you know. what I'm saying?
Whatever.
Whatever, but say this way I know.
Yeah,
No,
maybe. Maybe that's the
I
way to
don't
do it.
want
But
to-
I think he would say, no, don't pay me.
Say
And I
that
don't
I'm
want to
very
do that.
uncomfortable
Yeah.
and I'm gonna ask somebody else.
Mm.
What do you have?
His name is Dave the Snow Guy. If you would ask Jamie, she had her guy, somebody come last time.
Is this a landscaper or he
No,
does
he's just a
care?
guy he comes by himself. He's very good. I mean, so last time she had somebody shovel her driveway out, she must have had a heart attack because he wanted $200. And,
That's what
and
I'm
she whittled her
saying.
dam down to 125. Dave the Snow Guy came yesterday with this high
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
$60.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Tzvi to connect with you and
I
so
can
we
text
used to
him the
have
contact.
someone.
He's wonderful.
He moved. So then we had Nussbaum, you know, the one who lives near Dark.
Tani will come, or
He went back
Naftali
to
will come,
college.
but this Dave does much better than that. I mean, he's an older guy. Tani's good. He
I
came with
don't
his
care how
shovel
old he
yesterday.
is.
No, I mean, Tani shoveled and he came,
I have to tell
Naftali,
you the
whatever.
funniest thing though. We had Shabbos lunch at the Marty's.
Yeah.
And they've had this before, and it's just very funny. It's us. And then anybody else they invite is like